Hello. Responding to a user asking a question, they wanted to verify some information they found on some alternative media. And so I thought I'd just work the process here and record the video, and that might help other users. So the question is, they saw on a news source two military teams flying early Tuesday from Fort Campbell, Kentucky to the Ozarks near Stanton, Missouri. All right, so first thing we're going to do is open up the location chooser, which is going to be here. And let's put in that first location, Fort Campbell, KT. All right, so that's going to change our home location to that zone. I'm going to reduce the search radius. I'm going to switch out of military mode and into standard mode, and I'm going to reduce that. I'm going to turn off the classes for normies and the masked and the emergency. So we're just going to get the military, but we're only going to get for that area. All right, so now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the, let me clean up some stuff here. I'm going to turn on the advanced features and get into time travel mode, and that's this icon here, the globe with the clock on it. Click on that. It's going to give you some warning saying we're going to be leaving the leaving the live update mode and entering time travel. So we saw, yep, we want to do that. Proceed. Okay. And the big change here is this brings up this big time chooser panel here, which has the home location, which is Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and the time code in Universal Time Code. I do that because the data source is referenced in Universal Time Code. All right, let's proceed. Okay, so this was Tuesday, early Tuesday. So let's say Tuesday morning. And today is Thursday, the 22nd. So let's see here. That's going to be Wednesday and Tuesday. And we want to bump the hours down to sometime in the morning. Let's start at like 4 a.m. Right, let's start at 3 a.m. Okay, so with the time travel mode time picker here, we've got a couple of, let me make this interface a little bit larger. We've got a couple of features, functions here that I want to point out. First is the sort of playback functionality here. We've got a play forward and play back. We're going to stop playback here, and then this button resets the time and date to now. All right, the next thing that governs the playback are these two vertical sliders. This one on the left controls the step time, meaning the data is available every 5 seconds. Forward and backward in time, and we can increase or decrease that step time, to be 1 minute, 20 minutes, etc., etc. This other one, this one to the left, is the playback speed, and you can adjust that depending on how quickly the overall data load, or how quickly the data will load. If you have a high data load, you want to keep this as low as possible, so it's the slowest. Higher is faster. All right, so let's get back to standard mode here. All right, and I'm going to bring this down, that slider down, so it's at its slowest, and I'll just to show you, this steps up to 15 minutes total, 15-minute jumps, or we can go back to 5 seconds. So we'll start at 5 seconds. We can either start playback, which will just sort of iterate through every 5 seconds, or we can load a snapshot. So first thing I'm going to do is just quickly load a snapshot. And the next thing I'm going to do, because we're zoomed in, I'm going to bring the height adjustment slider down a little bit. I'm going to zoom the map in a little bit more so we can see well. Nice little refresher here. If the map tiles are wonky like it is here, that's why this button is for. Reset the map. And that basically reloads all the map tiles so we get them nice and clean. All right. And let's just do a refresh again. All right, so 175 total loaded, but there were no military aircraft loaded. So we'll just leave it there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start playing it forward, and we'll see what shows up. All right, so nothing's really coming up yet, so I'm going to bump up the refresh timing to every 1 minute so we can sort of step through this a little bit faster just so we get some traffic going. I'm going to turn on the mask just to see if we are getting anybody. We're not getting any traffic there. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more and do normies. That should give us at least some. Yeah, okay, good. Turn the icons back on, get the interface sort of tuned up. And I'm going to turn off the normies again just so that we have a very, very light data load here. And bring this back up to 200. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just increase the step time up to 5 minutes. And you can see that the timing is changing. It should be 48, 48, etc., just until we start getting some traffic. All right, and so the types that I'm being looking for are this is from the user UH60s. So we're looking for some H60s, some helicopters. So I turned on the type panel. So all the types and the icons, once we get some aircraft starting to show, that'll be shown there. All right, so let me increase the speed, step time again up to about 10 minutes. That way we can just start trolling through the data more quickly. But keep in mind, if you've got an aircraft flying, at 500 knots in 10 minutes, that thing can pretty much cover this whole distance. So you want to be careful about that. In fact, let's bump up the timing again. All right, we're getting a couple of, let me bring this back down just since we're starting to get some traffic going here. So we've seen a couple pop on and off the screen, but not the type that we're looking for. All right, now we're getting a little bit more action. Still no helos. So again, if I were to bring this back down to 5 seconds, then we can see the sort of, natural movement of the aircraft as it progresses through time. So with the larger steps, they kind of jump around a little bit, but that's okay because we're just sort of trolling right now. 1 minute's a nice kind of quick. Oh, okay, we got an NA. That's interesting. At least it fits within the class. And we do have an EC-45 right around the area. It's a little bit closer to the area. All right, that might be of use to us. Let's keep going. Reduce the icon size just so we can read those labels a little bit easier. All right, we got an H-47 that looks like a Chinook. All right, so a couple of H-60s off the top right here. That's kind of far away though, but just to note. Okay, so basically this covers the process. So I think this will respond to the user well in the sense that now you know how to get to an area, load up time travel mode, and start trolling through the data that you want depending on what kind of aircraft or traffic that you're looking for. So I'm going to end it there. Let me go ahead and unwind what we've got. So I'm going to push stop here, and that's going to stop the playback. I'm going to close the time travel flight history time picker here. And that's going to basically switch us back into live traffic mode. Okay, you'll notice that the time travel icon is off. If we click on that again, it's going to give us another warning. Hit proceed. You can see where that time travel button is highlighted. So if I disable this time picker, that exits us out of time travel mode, and you'll notice that it cleared the screen, unloaded the traffic. Basically, it did a burn. Kept our home location at Fort Campbell because that was the last thing we loaded, and we're sort of back to square one. All right, I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Cheers.